you know, protesting it because it's a violation of Torah, and they understand that the nation will be established by Messiah. Now, they don't recognize Yeshua as Messiah, in, you know, generally speaking. Some that do, of course. But they understand that the regathering of the whole house, northern 10 tribes being united with the southern, whole kingdom being established, will happen when the Messiah does it. When Messiah establishes the land, that's going to be the legitimate land of Israel. And we see, oh, he says it right here. It's an if then. If you do this, then I will pull you from the nations where I scattered you for disobeying me. And he also talks about, you know, but if you don't, this land's going to spit you out. I mean, we see that in Leviticus 18 and Leviticus 26 also. Leviticus 18 tells you point blank, you don't obey me, the land will vomit you out. So I'm very concerned about what we see happening over there in that plot of land calling itself Israel, because as a nation, granted, there are individuals there, there's always a remnant, there are people there keeping Torah. But as a nation, it's anything but Torah observant, and it's anything but the kingdom established by the Messiah.
Well, we had World War II. Israel was put in place, and we know the histories behind that. We know that Yahweh allowed them to become a state again, a country. The Zionists, a lot of people are getting confused, but at the same time, how do you see this playing out? Is it a part of the deception, do you think?
Well, yeah, I do. I think it's a big part of the deception. I think it's a counterfeit. However, I do believe it is a fulfillment of Scripture, just not the Scriptures everybody's pointing to. Everybody wants to say, "Can a nation be born in a day?" Isaiah 66:8. Sure, May 14th, 1948. Yeah, you read 4 verses later. 4 verses later, it says, "Peace will flow from that land like a river." Well, we've had anything but peace. And you read also in the context, it says, "I'm going to drive all the weapons of war from your land. You will not dwell in fear." It's you know, wolf and lamb, lion and lamb. You know, it's all, I know the Mandela effect. People out there, it's lion and lamb. No, it's wolf and lamb. Look, the carnivores and the, you know, prey are going to hang out together. You know, it's a child dies at 100. I mean, somebody dies at 100 and they're considered a child. It's a millennial reign context. You read chapter 65 before you go to 66:8, so you understand the context of 66:8. It's in a millennial reign context. So my contention is all of the usual scriptures everybody clings to and sets their timer and clocks to, you know, 1940, this generation shall not pass away, which has nothing to do with Israel becoming a nation, by the way. It says heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. But of that day, what day? The antecedent was the day heaven and earth passes away. No one knows except my Father only. I mean, all that stuff's all jacked up because of people like Darby and Schofield and Clarence Larkin and Tim LaHaye and everybody that's followed suit. You know, that's all got messed up. So what scriptures do fit?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in my mind, because we do see that there are people in the land in the last days. In fact, if they are, Yeshua says, if you're here in Judea, get out. in the last days, get out. So it was I can't remember the guy's name. Shoot, his name escapes me. But anyway, he talked about the 2 ingatherings. There's one in belief, which is the one we're talking about, a ingathering in belief where people get back on God's page and do things His way. Then He brings them in. That's the ingathering in belief. There's an ingathering in unbelief that I believe is supported by Zephaniah chapter 1 verses 1 and 2. And Zephaniah chapter 1 verses 1 and 2 talks about a nation gathering itself together. Is it Zephaniah 2? Let me look it up. Zephaniah 2. Yeah. Okay. Let me. I'll screen share this so people don't think I'm making it up. Zephaniah chapter 2. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger. He says it twice.